Hey guys, we just got out here to Honeymoon Island. I don't know, where are we?
Honeymoon Island.
Well, where? What part of Florida?
Tampa.
Tampa, okay, so this is still Tampa?
Whoa, Dunedin.
Okay, so there we go. We're in Dunedin, Florida. And we're at the state park, the Honeymoon Island State Park. And even though we just had red tide and a whole bunch of other stuff, we're going to be doing two reviews today. We're going to be doing the review of the Qysea P3 from FiFish, and we're also going to be doing the Chasing Innovation Gladius 4K underwater ROV platform. Alrighty guys, I'm standing out here in the water, and if you guys didn't watch my unboxing video, I do have an unboxing. I'll go ahead and supply that in the description link below. This is the Qysea P3 4K underwater ROV platform, and I've been testing the Gladius against this, and there are some things that I'm just not quite happy about, but there are some things that I do like about it as well. So we're gonna put this in the water. Despite how kind of choppy it is today, I don't think we're going to get any better water for this for the rest of the year. So we're going to go ahead and just have to commit to this because hurricanes and all that other fun stuff. But this is closely matched to the Gladius Underwater Advanced Pro model that Chasing Innovation makes. But like I said, I'll have a pros and cons list after the end of the video. So we're going to go ahead and put this thing in the water for its first real water run. I'm not taking off any of the stickies because it doesn't look like anybody's ever took them off, and this is a review model, so I'm not going to do that. So if it looks a little blurry, that's not up to me. So let's get this thing in the water. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright guys, so I have the most part of this set up now. We're going to go ahead and bump up the app. There was something I really wanted to talk about that Chasing Innovation never did. I think this is a very structural, from someone who appreciates a good design, this is definitely the way to go. I love this locking mechanism for being able to take the tension off of the line by popping this in. This is a very good design. I really wish some of the other ROV companies would consider this design because it's absolutely a perfect idea for locking it in to take the tension off of the main feed line. So very cool. All right guys, I'm gonna get this thing in here. So I'm out here trying to use this thing, and I keep getting tons of latency lag. I'm on a fairly good device, and even with direct connection for all this stuff, it still has a pretty bad latency lag. So I think if this continues, we're gonna go ahead and switch over to her. She's got a Samsung Galaxy S7 with an octa-core processor, so we're gonna go ahead and give that a shot. And I'm going to try a little bit more with this, but I'm really, I shouldn't have to upgrade a device just to be able to use this product. So that's kind of an annoyance if that's the case. This should be able to work with any Android system, so kind of frustrating. We're going to continue this review if we can. I have yet to be able to take footage because there's so much lag that it's almost unusable. But I'll keep chugging forward here. I'm going to send it out. It's still listening to the transmitter. I just don't have proper visuals here. My FPV is horrible. I can't tell if I'm on the bottom yet. It just keeps choking out. I assume I'm on the bottom. There's the bottom. It's just so broken up I can't really see what's happening. So no, I'm gonna go ahead and surface and bring it up. I don't even know where it is. You know where it is? It's stirring up the bottom pretty good. See all that dirt? Huh? I don't know why it's choosing not to surface. Gonna have to go get it here, I guess. Frustrating. I'm gonna lock the motors, go get the thing. Well, I'm rather disappointed because no matter what we did, I couldn't get the Wi-Fi to communicate well enough to actually be able to see what was going on with FPV. So I'm not too thrilled by this thing so far. Now look, when I got the Gladius, it also had problems. The Gladius, the first one didn't even work because it took on water, and the second one had a camera that was out of focus. So, you know, it appears that all these things still have their own little issues. However, this one is kind of major for me because not being able to see what I'm doing, like even right now, if I show you on the screen, it's slow. It's like laggy to the point where I can't use it at all. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm under the water, I need precision ability to see and maneuver. And unfortunately, this isn't giving me the ability to do that. So, you know, as of right now, the way this sits, we tried 2 different devices. Now, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions here. Maybe this was manhandled by a few other reviewers, and you know, this isn't a true account of how this thing would normally work. But, you know, from my experience right now, you know, it wasn't fun. I had to visually watch it under the water to see what it was doing instead of being able to use FPV. So major downfall. So I'm gonna come up with my pros and cons list. I'll see you guys in a sec. You know, it listened to the transmitter well, but I did notice a few times that even when I was full tilt, it seemed to take sand on inside of the body, and once it got sand logged, it didn't want to come up. It didn't have the ability to eject the sand out the rear of this thing. So once again, it would get waterlogged, sink to the bottom, and it didn't want to come to the surface. And that's on a 93% battery. I played with this thing for roughly around 15 minutes, and then we switched devices, and still same problem. So I'm not thrilled by this thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not super thrilled by this. You know, the Gladius does work better in essence, and there's a few other things we're gonna cover on that. So let me pack all this up, and then we're gonna go finish the pros and cons. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alrighty, guys. I've had a chance to play with this, and like I said, I'm not very thrilled by what has happened so far. I'm gonna give the company a chance to send another one and see if maybe that one works a little better. This one seemed to have some pretty serious issues with Wi-Fi. If I remember correctly, Dustin was having the same problem when he got his too. So you know, I can't really reference it yet just because it didn't work very well, which is unfortunate. So like I said, I'll give Qysea a chance to send another one for a proper review again. And but man, it just made trying to go to the bottom or see it at all very difficult. The lag was like 6 seconds behind, and by the time it did show me what was happening, it was already on the surface. So unfortunately, I can't really do anything with that. I went through all the settings and wasn't really able to change anything that was going to make my situation better. So we tried it on a Samsung Galaxy 7 Edge and a LG Stylo 2 with a quad core, or maybe it's octa core, quad core processor. Anyways, pretty decent. Neither device was crappy by any means. So, you know, I wasn't very thrilled by how this worked. There's a few other things that I wish they would have done when sending this to reviewer. The plugs that came with this were not for the US. I actually had to find some stuff to make all this work with the plugs. I think they were overseas plugs, maybe UK plugs. I have no idea what kind of plugs it came with. The other thing is, man, Gladius knew what they were doing when they designed a waterproof spool with a wind-up system. I really hope the package that they offer comes with a backpack and comes with a spool that they can actually wind and unwind with, because this was a horrible setup. Using this, having to unravel it, you know, to do like a whole bunch of times unravel it before we even got started. The Gladius is on a spool, and when you take off, it actually unwinds the spool for you, and then when you're done, all you have to do is wind it back up, which is very simple. This thing you have to manually undo by hand. So I hope when you get the final product of this thing that it's actually a lot better, and it comes with proper components to do this right. I also would love to see a backpack and a carrying case. because we made it to Honeymoon Island and we had to lug this thing all the way out here with no handle, no grip, no nothing. Another big frustration there, I can see. The other thing is, I would like to see this platform move more towards Wi-Fi base with a buoy, kind of like Gladius does theirs, because I was paying attention and thinking about what would happen if you were diving with this in a boat and you were going too far and you weren't paying attention, and the only way this is connected to the transmitter is through a 3.5 millimeter jack. What happens if you go too deep and all of a sudden it just unplugs and then it sinks to the bottom and you've got no way to go get this thing? I'm not too thrilled by the design of this thing. So anyways, guys, that's kind of my pros and cons. Pros, it does have a very good camera. The lumens are very good. Another con of mine, though, honestly, is that you can't tilt it forward to look at an object. It only goes up and down. It doesn't actually allow you to tilt, whereas the Gladius does. I do love the depth block. The depth block is very good. Very big fan of the depth block. With the Gladius, you constantly have to keep adjusting your depth manually, but it does have acro mode, basically, where you can fly underwater and do all that fun jazz. The full manual controls. This does not offer that to you. This is basically stabilized with depth lock. So pretty cool. It does have some nice features. I just wish this one worked better. You know, in the long run, I didn't really enjoy my time with this. It seemed like I was doing more work to use this, taking a lot of the fun really out of it and the experience of enjoyment. So I'm going to give Qysea an opportunity to review this. Sorry it took me so long to do this. Hurricanes and all that other fun stuff, but as of right now, I can't really recommend this just because the version I got had a lot of issues, and there's some things I would really like to see changed. Now, if they do fix the Wi-Fi, I'm more than happy to redo the review. We even drove a long ways to come out here and try to get a nice area to do this in, but I had to keep it extremely close. I wasn't even able to take it out to the cool areas because I didn't have FPV. I couldn't see what I was doing, so very unfortunate. So anyways, guys, drone worship from Honeymoon Island in Dunedin, Florida. I'll catch you guys on the flip. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you guys would like to check out Qysea as the company, their link will be in the description for purchase. If you guys would like to check out any of the other links that they have available, I'll go ahead and put that in the description link below. I'll catch you guys on the flip. Toodaloo.